Welcome everyone to our Spark session today. I am actually super excited about this Spark session because one, we had so many fun announcements last week, so many. But my number one that I am the most excited about is the incentive trip. So in the chat, I want you guys to say if you've earned an incentive trip and where your favorite one is. Because I just want you to see the excitement. Sensi's incentive trips are above and beyond amazing. I have been on other incentive trips, my husband's company, and they do not compare to our amazing incentive trips, which we owe a huge thanks to Eldon because he makes them above and beyond. They are truly amazing. And this year's is like a bucket list, both of them. I mean, there's the regular incentive trip that he'll talk about and even a top incentive trip. Both of them are on my bucket list. So I'm super, super excited. Look at all these people that have been on incentive trips. Woohoo! So excited for all of you who've been. And for those that haven't, this is something to reach for sure. And I'm actually excited to hear from Eldon about it. We'll get to him. Because I actually like how they simplified how to earn it this year. So he will explain all of that. And I just want you guys to know, Eldon is or one of the amazing events teams with Sensi and has been on so many incentive trips. He travels all over the world. He is so amazingly smart with travel. He knows everything. I don't know about everything, but he is amazing. So I am excited to turn it over to him. So get ready to take notes, dream big, and let's get excited. So welcome, Eldon. If you want, go ahead and start sharing, and then we will leave the last 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes for questions. Just a reminder, it has not been announced, so he may not be able to say everything about how to earn the incentive trip, but he will share everything that he possibly can. So go ahead, Eldon, and take on over.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sarah. Well, I love doing this, and I love being with you, and I am very passionate about travel, and I'm very passionate about incentive travel in particular, because for me, it represents the greatest honor of a lifetime. And I don't say that, to blow smoke or anything like that. I love this idea that I get to take other people to some place to give them an experience they couldn't or wouldn't give themselves. And I'm going to say a big word here, change lives, because that's really, I think, what happens. I am continually amazed by meeting with people, particularly my own family or people in my circle who don't travel, haven't had the opportunity to travel. I'm not going to call them closed-minded, but some of that goes on, because they haven't taken the opportunity to go out and to explore this unbelievable world that we live in. And I am just shaking all over the place. I need to stop touching the table because the camera looks terrible. But anyway, I love traveling. I love seeing the world, and I love realizing that it doesn't matter where you live or who you are or how you put your pants on. Everybody is the same, and everybody has the same goals, and we get to go out and explore that and see it firsthand. And this year, we get to do it in places we've never been before. One of them we have, a little bit. The other one we haven't been at all. And so let me begin actually by clarifying that I have not been to Iceland yet. And so there is only so much that I can tell you about it. I have done the research, I have seen the photos, I have read the posts, I have seen the videos, but I haven't actually been there myself. But I have been to enough places and I know enough about travel to tell you that, yeah, this one's going to be good. It's going to be amazing. One of the reasons we are going to Iceland this year is because we have the opportunity to go on a cruise. Cruises allow you to do things cost-wise that you couldn't do otherwise. Iceland is a very expensive place, so much so that I was looking to extend a few extra days in Iceland. I'm going to be going there later this summer, and the hotel that was recommended to me was $1,500 a night for the hotel. And I thought, okay, so looks like I'm going home on my departure day, and I won't be extending the way I wanted to. And I looked up even just a simple little Courtyard by Marriott sort of hotel, and I think it was $800 a night, something like that. So the ability to take a group, especially a group of this size, to a location like Iceland, it just wasn't going to happen. They don't have the infrastructure to do it. They don't have, and we, can't afford to do what we would want to do. And then you're, of course, stuck in one location like Reykjavik, and you don't have the opportunity to get around and go different places. Now, I'm not saying that's always the case. We are going in the peak of tourist season. It's the peak of summer. Everything's at its most beautiful and it's at its best. And there are things that you can do on an individual traveler basis, just not with several hundred people. So that's where cruises become the absolute perfect thing, because the bedrooms float with us, the hotel travels with us, the dining rooms travel with us, and then we get to spend a day in each of the locations enjoying the best of that destination and seeing really the whole country. We're pretty much going to circle all the way around the country of Iceland, which I'm really excited to do. Before we get into many details about that, I am not probably the best person to talk about the structure of the trip. That's really more Annie Bird, who runs our recognition programs for us. She's the one who determines this is how many points you need, this how many stars you need, and this is this and this is that. So I would suggest let's get Annie on, and she can kind of walk you through all of that and tell you the best way to do it. I do know this. We have simplified it tremendously in that you need, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but X number of stars. You can earn stars by selling. You can earn them through sponsoring, through your team members promoting, you promoting, various things like that. And of course, the monthly focus, which is an exciting one as well, because every month it's going to change, and it gives us the opportunity to help you with your business, direct efforts where we need them that time. So more to come on that, but it's coming, it's straightforward, and we want you to be able to earn it because it's going to be an amazing, amazing experience as always. One of the things that attracted me to this Iceland cruise specifically, and I'll give you a little backstory, I get my marching orders from Dan and Heidi and Orville, and we go out and we look at various things, and they give me a budget, and I come back and I say, okay, here's what you can have. And then they say, oh, we don't like that. Here, you can have a little bit more money. Now go try again. And so I'll go out and I'll come back and I'll give them a few ideas, and they'll say, oh, but that's not very exciting. I said, well, that's what your budget buys. So, well, what if we did this, or what if we did that, or what if we did this? And that's when I come back and say, okay, let's just throw the kitchen sink at them and see what happens. And after we had gone through this exercise 2 or 3 times, I realized, you know what? I need to stun, and I need to do something that is going to be out of the box. We haven't done it. We haven't thought about it. Another cruise to a tropical location is great, but Jan, we've done that so many times. It's just another tropical place. It'll be great, and it would be wonderful, but what is going to just take their breath away and stop them in their tracks? And that's exactly what happened when we presented Iceland. They said, okay, this is what we are interested in. I said, okay, good. I thought so. But the thing that I love about this more than anything, that I don't know if you picked this up, and I don't know how well our video actually explained it, is yes, it's a cruise of Iceland, but it's a little bit more than that. We are embarking in Rotterdam in the Netherlands, which on its own, if you haven't been to the Netherlands and have an opportunity, which you now do, have an opportunity to explore the Netherlands. I know Sarah and Teresa went on our trip a couple years ago. Unbelievable place. And it rained the whole time, and it was still an unbelievable place. And we had an amazing, amazing time. You're going there in June, so it's even so much better, though it probably will rain because it does quite a bit. But in terms of, if you want to plan a trip on the front end, you have incredible opportunities to do that, because you fly into Amsterdam, take a bus or a train an hour south to Rotterdam. We, of course, will manage that transfer for you, and then you get on the ship. You want to spend a day in Amsterdam and explore the Anne Frank House or the Rijksmuseum, or take a canal boat down one of the rivers, you can do that. You want to get there early in the morning and do a little bit before you go down to the ship in the afternoon, you can do that too. You want to spend a few days and go down to Belgium, to Bruges or Ghent or Antwerp, or even to Germany, you can do that. You want to fly into Paris and take the train, the Eurostar, it's 4 hours from Paris up to Amsterdam. You can do that. You want to fly into London and take the Eurostar train over 3 hours. You can do that. So this is one of my great challenges in life is I go someplace and I say, yeah, that was nice, but where else could I go that's nearby? And then I end up spending more time and more money than I should wherever I'm going because everything is so close and it's so fun to see while you're there. But we'll put that aside and let's talk about Iceland. I have not been, as I mentioned, to Iceland yet, but we set sail on Sunday, June 6th, out of Rotterdam, and we spend the first day at sea, and we're crossing what's called the North Sea at that point, and it is notoriously a little bit bad. Now, we sailed it when we went with Region 2 on our Norwegian Fjords cruise a few years back, and I didn't find it bad at all. So just be aware that the weather could be a little bit rough, but there's no guarantee of that. There's also no guarantee that it'll be good. But we cross the North Sea, we spend a day at sea. Also, I'll pause and mention that we're on the MS Rotterdam, which is part of the Holland America family of ships, and I've never sailed. So here in August, I'm going to sail and I can come back and tell you more about it. I know it is geared towards adults. I know it's going to have fewer, meaning none, rock climbing walls and things like that. The focus is really on adults, which I think is great, especially when you're going to a place like Iceland, where it is so focused on scenery and history and culture. You don't really need to spend your days, zip lining and riding a carousel and whatnot. This is a cultural and scenic immersion experience, and what a great way to do it than with a ship that is focused on that, really. So we spend Monday the 7th at sea, and then we arrive in Kirkwall, Scotland. I know nothing about Kirkwall, Scotland, except that I told my wife that's where it's going. She's, oh, that's where this crime series is filmed. She sort of speaks in crime language, and she said she was more excited because this particular crime show is shot in Kirkwall, Scotland. So for what it's worth, if you're into that type of thing, that is where we're headed. I'm just going to throw a few words at you that I put in my notes here about Kirkwall, Scotland. You ready? And they are ancient standing stones. So I'm kind of thinking like Stonehenge type stuff is what comes to my mind there. UNESCO World Heritage Sites. We've been to a couple of those lately, and anytime you go, those are places that the world or that I think it's the United Nations has deemed these are places of such importance they need to be protected for mankind and for the history of the world. But my favorite one is the word Neolithic, and they talk about this a lot about the Neolithic time period. Now, I don't know if you're up on your ancient world history. I'm certainly not, so I had to look up what that meant. Neolithic means the last and most productive period of the Stone Age. I said, okay. Just for what a reference, the time period is 10,000 to 2000 BC. So we're talking ancient, ancient, ancient. That's the type of place that we are going to, and those are the kind of stones and experiences and things that you're going to have there. So pretty cool experience, I think, getting to see some of that and go to those places. And I love that because you cruise, you can go to tiny little islands and places you maybe otherwise wouldn't go to. Spend a day there. You'll probably never go back. You probably don't need to go back, but you had the opportunity to go and you saw something and you learned something and you know something about the corner of the world you didn't know before, and you're a better person for it. We sail on from there another day at sea before we arrive in Iceland. Now, I am not going to pretend to announce or to pronounce any of the names of these cities because I can't. They're just not even. We're not even going to try. So instead, I pulled up, and if you don't mind, Sarah, Can I share something on my screen? Let me see if I can.
You are a co-host, so you should be able to.
Okay.
If not, let me know.
How do I go about doing that? Hold on.
Do you see the little arrow down below that says share?
Apparently, I have not zoomed for a while. Here we go. The little arrow. There it is. All right. Got it. And I am going to... Okay, can you see that now?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Okay, here we go. So I pulled out some pictures instead because I haven't been to Iceland, but I have done a little research, so I know what's coming. So let's start with Come on. This one. Isn't that a beautiful picture? Our first stop is in, I said I wasn't going to try, I'm going to try. Seyðisfjörður, Iceland. Now, the thing I love about the word Seyðisfjörður is the word fjord is in the middle of that. And if you know what a fjord is, it's caused by a glacier melting and that causes the earth to kind of separate and split, and all of a sudden it just stops and it creates this long, narrow, gorgeous channel. So I know there's a fjord there, and I also happen to know that Seyðisfjörður is the puffin capital of Iceland. Iceland is known for puffins, and I mean, look at those. Is there anything cuter than those little birds? And I've never seen a puffin before. I know they have them in like Alaska and other really cold, wet locations, but I want to go just to see the puffins. Those look amazing, and those are really cute. It is also known for this particular canyon. Look at that. If you've ever been to the Giant's Causeway in Ireland, it looks similar to this. It's got these basalt pillars, all of varying heights and things that are these kind of square, just totally random everywhere, as if it was just made that way. Exact same thing we're going to do here in Iceland is look at these incredible pillars through this canal that was only formed in the last 50 years, maybe. It was, they created a dam, and in doing so, rerouted the water and created this experience, which is pretty amazing and one that I'm looking forward to seeing. All right, from Seyðisfjörður, we sail on. Now, here's one of the things that also attracted me about this cruise, and I'll read to you the exact, I get my notes out of order here, the exact itinerary. There it is. Because it says, so we're in Seyðisfjörður from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on June 10th. And then we do scenic cruising of Seyðisfjörður, which means to me, you're going to have time to enjoy the city and the location and the activities. And then we're going to sail through the fjords, and we're going to see the scenery from the ship, which is one of the very best things to do. And a lot of times when you sail or you cruise, you do it at night, so you don't really see the landscape as much, or maybe there's not as much time to see the landscape because you're at dinner or whatever. They have specifically called out this sailing time to get to go and see and explore the beauties of the area. So I'm really excited about that. And the sun doesn't really set this time of year in Iceland, so it's going to be pretty well light most of the day. So you're going to have amazing opportunities to see these scenic, wonderful, beautiful places all day long. I will add to that one disappointing thing, and that is if you were hoping for the northern lights, they're there, they're just not visible because it doesn't get dark enough to see them. And I was told that they don't really come back until about September, October is when you can start to see them again. But unfortunately, it will be too light when we are there to see them. But we do get to see the beautiful landscapes. We sail on from Seyðisfjörður to, here we go, Akureyri, something like that. But look at that. This is called Godafoss waterfall. Iceland is known for waterfalls and geothermic activity and incredible fjords and cliffs, and it's sort of like Alaska without the big mountains, I would say, and heavy on the waterfalls, which I'm just really, really excited about. You've got amazing waterfalls there. You've got amazing lava canyons and things that were I mentioned geothermic. There is volcanic activity to this day going on Iceland. And so these are some of the images that you might experience as we're there in Akureyri, that place. We are then that day sailing the scenic Eyjafjörður. That's with an E. Same thing as the day before, sailing through the fjords and enjoying the beauty that's there. Or I might also mention, these are geothermal pools. And as you can see, there's like a little beach there and a little swim up kind of a place. If this is something that's on your bucket list, you'll have the opportunity to do that. They're naturally heated hot springs that you can go in and bathe in and participate. So something to look forward to there. Our last day in Iceland is at Ísafjörður, and they are known for the Arctic fox. I mean, come on, look at those. And they have Arctic fox habitats, and you can go out and learn about them. Every place has hiking, every place has boating, every place has whale watching and waterfalls and all that good stuff. But this is something unique only to that area there. And also this waterfall, which I forget its name, but I believe it is the largest waterfall in Iceland, and it cascades, as you can see, down multiple levels. Just a stunning, amazing experience that I can't wait to see in person. So oh, can't show you him yet. All right, so we're going to swift gears a little bit. Iceland's going to be amazing. It's going to be spectacular. We are spending 4 nights actually sailing Iceland. Every day we're in a port of call because we spend the first 3, 2 of them at sea and 1 of them in Scotland, in Kirkwall, as I mentioned earlier. So something to look forward to. If you love the Alaska trip, this is going to be a close, maybe a first, maybe a second. Why do they have to compete? I don't know that they do, but an amazing experience. Now, I'm running out of time, so we're going to shift gears and talk about something that is very close to my heart, and that is Africa. It was 10 years ago that we announced we were taking a trip to Africa, and that's all we said. We said we're going to Africa. And at the time, we saw it come up on the screen, and we said, okay, I've never been to Africa. Africa's not a country, incidentally. Africa's a continent built up of multiple countries. And so how does one go to Africa, and where does one go? We had an amazing time researching and finding these incredible safari camps and lodges that we went to. Cape Town in South Africa, an amazing, beautiful, beautiful experience. Heidi and Orville have wanted to go back to Africa for many years. They've asked us to keep looking at it. We keep looking at it every time. We discovered that this was the 10-year anniversary, so we said, well, it has to happen this year then. So we're going to do it. We're going to take you back to Africa. But we want to do something a little bit different this time. And I am sure that anybody who was on that trip and on this call can tell you that they would give their eye tooth to go back to Africa in a heartbeat. And it's an amazing, amazing experience. But we didn't want to do the exact same thing. We could do the exact same thing, and I think it would be just as satisfying, but why not mix it up a little bit? So I had the opportunity when I was over there to extend a little bit and go up north from South Africa to Zimbabwe and Zambia and Botswana. If you've ever heard of Victoria Falls, it's the largest, longest, something like that, waterfall in the world. It's the Zambezi River, which pours out of Lake Victoria up north, drains down over these giant cliffs and forms the natural border between Zambezi and Zimbabwe. Well, there is a hotel that sits just at the edge of that river, and from which you can see the mist rising from the waterfall. In fact, they call the falls the smoke that thunders because you can hear it. When you're in the hotel, you can hear the thunder from this mighty falls. Now, mind you, I was there in October, I think, which was the dry season, and they actually call it dry walls that time of year because the river isn't as high and it's not quite as long as it normally is. Still beautiful, just maybe not quite as large as it would be otherwise. But let me share a couple of pictures with you. So first off, we leave Cape Town, which is an extremely civilized, extremely beautiful, beautiful city, and we land in Zimbabwe or Zambezi. We walk up, and the first thing we do is this lady points this radar gun or something at our head, and it puts a little red dot, and she's taking our temperature because they are not messing around with diseases or temperatures or anything like that. And we walk into a decidedly different experience than what we had in Cape Town. And frankly, I started to feel a little bit nervous. We get in our van, and it's taking us to our hotel. And we're driving through, and the roads are not really paved. There's kind of dirt everywhere. There is poverty everywhere. There are people walking on the streets with big, what are they called? Big parcels of products to sell or laundry or whatever it is they're carrying on their heads walking up and down the streets. And I thought, okay, this is more of the Africa of National Geographic that I've seen before. This is not the one that I was just in. This is a little bit different and a little bit of a culture shock. And we arrived at our hotel. The gates opened. We parked through the gates closed, and this is what greets us. On the grounds of the hotel, they have giraffe and zebra that live there, and they wander around, and they come up to you, and you're not really supposed to interact with them. They can interact with you, but you could open the door in your hotel room one day, and there's a zebra standing right outside your door, like literally, and you just kind of have to wait till he decides to walk on and before you can leave your room. But the giraffes, first off, I didn't know giraffes could sit, but here she was, just sitting there, pretty as you please, welcoming us to this amazing resort in Zimbabwe, or Zambia. We go down and we see the hotel, which is amazing, sits right on the river. And that evening we take this photo. Now, if you look at this, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but you can see the mist here at the top of the screen. That is the waterfall. This is the river that pours over, and that is the mist that comes up from that waterfall. And by the way, these little lumps here, those are not rocks. Those are hippos that are just floating in the water. Now, mind you, we are standing on the shore on the little sunset deck having a refreshment or something like that, just looking out into the water and seeing the hippos floating there at sunset while we're looking at the mist coming up from the waterfall. Talk about a surreal experience. Amazing, amazing experience that we absolutely loved. This is a group that we took to Africa 2 years ago, my wife and I. We love to travel so much, and we have friends that love to travel, so every now and again we'll put a trip together, and this was a group that we took to Africa. But this shows you Victoria Falls from the other side. You saw it, the riverside. Now we're actually in Zimbabwe looking back at Zambia and at the falls that are coming over. And mind you, this is in the dry season, so you can't quite see it at its full splendor, but you get an idea for what you're doing and what you're experiencing. This next photo is one of my favorites. Has anybody ever heard of the Devil's Pool? It's an area at Victoria Falls where you can sit on the edge and look over the falls, which is essentially what we did here. It was an unbelievable experience because the picture's cropped in pretty tight, but on both sides of us, we are sitting at the absolute edge of this waterfall, and there's water going over one side, water going the other side, and we are just on this natural rock wall that's preventing us from going over. There's little fish in the water nibbling at our feet, and our guide says, don't worry about them. Just move your feet around if that's bothering you, and try not to go over. But this is what we did, and this is where we are going, is to Victoria Falls to show you an experience that you really can't have anywhere else in the world. If you look at the top of the picture above the rainbow, you can see people on that walk there. That's where that previous picture was taken, is looking back at this area across the gorge to the falls. And I'm going to close out talking about Africa a little bit with a video that my wife and I took when we went to Botswana. Botswana is in the same area as Zambezi and Zimbabwe. It is known for their elephant herds because they have very high anti-poaching laws, and the elephants are safe there, and so the elephants tend to go there. Well, you go to the Chobe National Park, you get on a boat, and this is a safari done by water. You sail up and down, and you're really there to see elephants. And I want to share with you this video of us. What you're seeing right here is we're just kind of combing the landscape, looking for the elephants. You can see them. There's a few of them here and there, but we're going to swing up a bit eventually, and you're going to see them get in the water and start to cross, which you've seen in National Geographic. You've seen it in places. It's an amazing experience. Here we go. Look at the little baby elephant. I mean, his nose is under the water at this point. I don't know how he's breathing. but they all go in and they sort of link up and walk across the river in Chobe National Park. And they do this multiple times a day because they're looking for food and whatnot, and they'll cross from one side to the other, depending on where the vegetation is and then depending on where stuff is. But look, the baby elephant just kind of disappeared under the water. I don't know how they're breathing. I don't know how they're doing anything. But they all hop in the water. And what you can't see is there's herds everywhere. This one here is crossing. There's another one on the other shore that's already there. There's one further down. There's one back this way. They're rolling in the mud. Just elephants as far as the eyes can see. And what an amazing experience that was. And that is something that those of you who join us in Africa will be able to experience this as well when we take you to Chobe and to Zimbabwe and to Zambia. So we don't need to see the whole episode. You just need to know that the elephants are pretty darn cute. Africa's pretty amazing. Iceland is going to be amazing. And we are here to help you to achieve it, to help you to earn it. And it is doable, especially if you're relatively new, or if you're recruiting somebody or sponsoring somebody coming to it. I think anybody will tell you that earning it, the very best time to earn something is at the beginning of your career, because you promote and you get stars and points for doing so, and it's a natural time to do it. So Sarah, Teresa, do I need to cover more, or how are we doing?
Oh, I think we're all just kind of in shock and mind blown right now.
Hmm.
Everyone's asking how we earn both because they're so amazing.
Yeah. Well,
Let's see if we have any questions. And I know you said points will be, did they say it will be announced August 1st? Do you know that? Or
that's
how to earn the points?
that is usually the case. Yes.
Okay. I am looking. Vaccines. It looks like Teresa responded. For Africa, I'm guessing.
There are vaccines for Africa. There are no actual required vaccines. There are recommended vaccines, recommend that you take the malaria pill, but you are not required to take anything or show any vaccination cards when you arrive.
Okay. I'm looking for questions.
And we don't have dates yet for Africa. I know we
Not
do
yet.
for Iceland. Right. That's
Iceland
what I
we
thought.
do. Africa, not quite.
Do we need a visa to go to Iceland or Scotland? Someone's asking.
You don't need a visa, and the UK and the EU have been changing things recently. You may need an electronic visa, which can be either obtained on arrival or done in advance. It's a pretty straightforward process, takes about 10 minutes or so, but it's not like you have to apply for it like you would if you were moving to a country for an extended period of time. But we'll get that information to you. You will need a passport. It will need to be valid for at least 6 months following the last day of travel. So that's the main thing. From there, getting any entry visas needed should be pretty straightforward, and we'll walk you through that once we get closer.
Hey, I know we fly into Rotterdam, or we leave
Yeah.
Rotterdam, maybe fly into Amsterdam. Someone's asking, do we disembark and fly out of
Reykjavik.
Ireland? Reykjavik,
Yeah,
thank you.
Reykjavik, Iceland, we do. So you fly, you do what is a multi-city reservation, and generally the ones I've been looking at recently have not been terribly expensive. I mean, they're comparable to what a round trip ticket would be. Sometimes it depends on where you're coming from, but we did consider this and look into this as we were looking at pricing for everything. So you'll fly into Amsterdam. There is no airport in Rotterdam, or there is, but it's a local airport. Fly into Amsterdam, or like I said, you could fly into Paris or London and take the train, or kind of do what you want to do to get there. You just need to get to Rotterdam. And then you will fly home from Reykjavik. And here's the best part. It's a 6-hour flight from Reykjavik back to the US. It's pretty easy.
Okay, I'm just reading the questions. For the Africa trip, is Victoria Falls Hotel, that would be our accommodations at the base of the falls?
No, not Victoria Falls Hotel. We've got one that's even better. We are hoping to be at what's called the Royal Livingston Hotel. It's on the Zambezi side, and it's unforgettable. Unforgettable.
I know
will say,
people, oh, go
oh,
ahead.
I will say about Africa, it will still be a split trip, meaning we are planning, and the details aren't final. We have a couple of different concepts we're working on, but one of them right now is spend a few days in Cape Town in South Africa because it is just spectacularly beautiful, and then fly up to Livingston and do safari and whatnot up in Zambia, Zimbabwe. So you will get a taste of multiple destinations.
Okay, I know people are asking if they sponsor in July. Does that count? Since it was said, and I don't think you know the specifics.
I don't, and I would be surprised, to be honest with you, because
Okay.
it usually starts August 1.
And I'm pretty sure, at least, maybe I won't say. I think what they do get points is when they promote. So if
Yes,
they
I would
sponsor
assume.
in July and they promote in August, you get the promoting stars. That's Sarah's interpretation, not Sensei's, so don't hold me on that, but that's what I'll say, help to answer that.
That seems logical because there is no requirement that they join and promote during the period. It's a promotion, same as
Correct.
usual.
Someone asked, can we know at least the month or time of year for Africa?
It will be more in the spring. We are thinking April, May timeframe this time because the Iceland trip is in June.
If we've never traveled, how far in advance would we need a passport?
Really depends on where you live, and if you have a passport office nearby, you can get a passport in a day. I mean, if you live in a city where there's a passport office, you can go do that if you can get an appointment. I think 2 to 3 months is probably a good way to plan for those, just to make sure that you get them. There are ways to expedite them. There are ways to get them faster. It just depends on, again, where you're coming from, where you live. If you've had one before, do it now. If you're planning to go, you might as well put that out in the universe that you're going to go and you need a passport.
Okay, passport for Africa or visa or both?
Passport, yeah.
Just
Any
passport
visas
for
that
both. Okay.
there are visas required for Zambia and Zimbabwe and Botswana, but they're obtained on arrival.
Oh, okay. Um, Someone's asking, is it a flight credit?
It is a flight
Or,
credit. Yep, same as this past year. It is a flight credit.
okay.
And I don't know if they talked much about one of the reasons we are doing that is to try and equalize the experience a little bit, because the way it worked in the past when we paid for the flight, you would have somebody flying from one city and it was a $1,500 flight, and you had a person flying from another city and it was a $300 flight. And that's great. One, it hits you on the tax end quite a bit, and if you're not expecting that. But two, it requires us to make the points so much higher to be able to accommodate that balance there. If we just determine this is the set amount, we're going to make it equal for everybody. If you can get it cheaper, great. Maybe one of these years you won't be able to get it cheaper, and you'll be the one that has to pay a little bit more to get there. So we're just trying to equalize it and keep the earning requirements as low as we possibly can.
Okay, and I don't know if you can tell this either, but how many earners for Africa? Do we know? It just said top tier. They're asking 50, 100, or is that going to be announced August 1st?
Top tier is what we're saying at
All
this
right.
point.
Find out
So
August 1st, I'm hope, or will we even know August 1st? Or is
I
it,
don't even know if I think we're
wow,
reserving the right to set that number where Orville wants it to be. So I
wow.
can say this, if people start blowing the roof off of things and people are promoting and sales are going through the roof and business is humming, we're going to take more people. But we're also not going to artificially take a set number if people are not performing where we hope they will, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay, some of these are repetitive questions. Hold on. A lot of the same questions. Our summer is Africa's winter. Will it be cold like the last trip? Someone's asking.
Was it cold? I mean, it was cool. The mornings were cool, but then the sun would come out during the day. I guess it was a little bit cool. I wouldn't compare it to winter here. I mean, it's winter in that it doesn't rain as much, it's drier, and yes, the mornings are cooler, the evenings are cooler. You wear a jacket and whatnot, and you're good. But that's a good thing because you're avoiding the heavy rains, you're avoiding the heat, you're avoiding the humidity and whatnot. So yes, it will be a little bit. April, May is, I would call probably fall, because we were there in June last time and it was pretty well the dead of winter. And I was there previously in October, which was very much spring. So I would say probably fall timeframe.
I have two questions now about reinstatements.
Mhm.
Do we know, I know they can count for promotions, but they're wondering if they come back and are active for the first time, if they count.
That is one, that's one I can't
August 1st?
answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Eldon, I know the question came up about SFR. In the past, we also had SFR as a level 1 option.
Yep.
Do we know if that's going to be an option, or is that something we'll find out August 1st?
So as I understand it, and I think I posted this, level 1 for SFR used to be registration for the event, registration for SFR. That is not an option this year. Level 1 is you're earning a trip. I do still believe that if you're not able to go the trip, SFR remains an option for you, where it would be registration, hotel, flight if you earned that level, food per diem, that type of thing. So what we don't have is the earn registration. It's more of a full trip.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Eldon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a Germany question and I can't read it. Sorry. Maybe if someone can translate that. Sorry. People are asking, can we go on both?
Can you go on both? Officially, there's not officially a way to earn both. I will say that. We have in the past offered, if you earn the top tier trip and you want to buy into the second trip, you can. You do have the option to do that. That is something, I think we did that in Bora Bora in Hawaii. We did that in the Netherlands and Alaska. So I would assume that if there is space available and you want to do that, yes, you could do that, but it isn't something that you can earn.
So the German translation is, what ship will we be on? And do you happen to have any insight about this particular, it's not an airline, what is it, a cruise line?
MS Rotterdam, which is Holland America. And the only thing I know is that it is geared more towards adults. And so it's not going to have the family-friendly bells and whistles. I know they have a partnership with the History Channel, the Discovery Channel, National Geographic, one of those. So it is very much a little more focused on scenery and history and culture and that type of thing, which I think is, from my perspective, appropriate for this type of location, because you're going to be spending your days enjoying the beauty, not, worrying about what slide you're going to go down.
Will there be a tracker on the workstation? People are asking. Or an incentive checklist?
There will be
Achieve this
something,
kind of thing?
whether it is a color in the dot something or an official tracker, I am not certain. That again is an Annie question. I know it's always something we like to put out there. Hopefully there'll be something there. It has to be tracked somehow. How quickly it's available, I couldn't say for sure.
Yeah, and don't quote me, but I do believe I heard Chuck say that the tracker would be up in August. But again, don't quote me. There's a lot of just accolades to you, Eldon. We are very appreciative for you taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. We just thought that it would be really awesome on the front end for everyone to learn a little bit about these locations, so that way they know exactly what they're working towards. And I can tell you that of all of the Spark sessions we've had today, you knocked it out of the park. We've had a lot of guest speakers on, and you actually had the most participants today than we've ever had on a Spark session. So the excitement is there post Sensi family reunion, and what we're hoping is that all of this excitement is captured and translates into performance, that we can take all of the information that was received today and turn it into new team members sponsoring promotions, more PRV, more customers, so that way we can see everyone on these incentive trips, and also see you too, Eldon.
Well, it's like, thank you, Teresa. They're amazing experiences, and I'm not tooting my own horn here. I mean, the experiences are what they are. The locations are what they are. We just have the opportunity. It's really a logistical thing of bringing you there and getting you there to see them for yourself, and then showing you the very best of the area, which we love to do, and we love for you to experience that, because as I mentioned, it makes you a better person, I believe, when you get to see the world and you get to experience the things that you wouldn't otherwise. We had an amazing trip to Peru last year, a very small group, very tight-knit group now because of that experience. And I'm actually, that group I showed you the picture of in Africa, I am taking them to Peru in 2 weeks, and I'm going back and cannot wait, because beautiful people, beautiful experiences, and amazing things to be had all over this incredible world. And I am just thrilled to get to share a small part of that with you. And I hope you'll keep working hard, because you keep working hard, and you do your part and we'll do ours. And we love to do it.
Eldon, is there an age limit? Someone's asking 16 or 18.
16 is what we have
For a guest,
officially made. Yep, for the guest.
16. Okay.
And if you're wondering how that works, if you earn for one, you have the option to buy in a guest, 16 or older, and they can travel with us.
Okay, I think more questions keep popping up. A lot of these questions I'm skipping because we do not know. Now, someone's saying we aren't going to hear the official till September 1st. Excuse me, I said August 1st. Do you know that by chance?
The official rules, or?
Yes, I thought August 1st. Others said they said September, so I want to clarify if you even know that.
I thought it was August. I think it's usually August 1st, isn't it?
That's what I thought I heard, but some people are saying September 1st, so now don't want to say the
Maybe
wrong
it's a
thing.
September tracker and an August start.
Yes. I can confirm that it is August 1st, and even Chuck said on the leadership call, he's like, hey, it might even be sooner, but August the 1st is the date.
Okay, that's what I thought. Are all rooms balconies? Someone asked.
They are not. A good chunk of them are, but they are not all balcony.
Okay, now they're saying September is the tracker, but official announcements August 1st. So just to clarify.
That sounds about right.
So, okay, Teresa, hopefully we caught all the questions.
I think we did. We have Elton for 45 minutes, so we kept him 3 minutes over, but we're so thankful for your time. And listen, we have, August 1st, where we will get the full FAQs out globally. And so if there's any other pending questions, let's take it to the FAQ, of course. Again, I'm excited to earn this. Let's claim it. And I do want to encourage everyone to find an accountability partner and or an accountability group. I think that that's really going to help us over the next 6 months. So Eldon, thank you so much. And Sarah, thank you so very much for hosting today as well. We're very thankful and we're super excited.
Sounds great. Best of luck, everybody. We'll see you next year.
Absolutely. Bye,
Go
everyone.
on this incentive, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Eldon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.